What's up, everybody? I am officially back with another video. I've been like out for a few days. Well, out, but y'all, like I had to go get my teeth removed in my mouth. By the way, keep up with your oral hygiene, which in my defense I usually do. But I couldn't I didn't go to the dentist for a few years. It had stopped like once I went to college and I graduated now. But I don't know, like honestly, I've been trying to think, like I even tell the doctors I don't know how my teeth got like they got. But yeah, they weren't the best, and I had a bad toothache, and it was due to an infection. So this side of me was really swollen, could not talk. I'm taking antibiotics. I'm taking pain medicine. I still have to take them every once in a while because my teeth start aching me. I'm gonna kind of take one before bed because I feel like it makes me really high, and so I'll take one before bed. But guys, I just came here really to talk like to you because I just felt like making a video, but also I was like I could go ahead and tell like the signs that I know, like how God told me to move to California. But just to update on my life, I want to go get my teeth fixed. We had our first overnight prayer at my church last night, y'all. Oh my God, I was so excited. I didn't get home till 4 a.m. but it was so good, and I was awake. I had got off work early. I told my job I need to get off at 9, please. It started at 10, and we did like 10 to 4, and it was just so amazing, and I feel just so liberated. I'm not gonna lie, over the past few weeks I had been feeling just down. I was gonna make a video about it, and guys, I did not get a job that I was hoping that I would get, and not gonna lie, like it would have helped me a lot, but it didn't, like it really made me sad that I didn't get it, and it just put me in like so many feels. So I have not been in the right headspace for weeks now. And I would just keep praying like, Jesus, I just need liberation, like Lord help me. But I just felt so closed in, but like I could fake it with people. So I remember I used to feel like I was the type, like I could tell somebody and be like, hey, like you're going to do something right now, like I'm here for you, you know. And they'd be like, wow, like, you know, like how did you know? But nobody would ever know with me. And I used to be like so offended, like I know everybody, but nobody knows when I'm feeling down and I don't want to tell nobody. So I'm really good at faking it. But also I'm like, you know, I can't blame people. Like if I'm not going to be vulnerable and open with them, I can't really blame them and say like, oh, why no one's been open and vulnerable with me, you know? So I just kind of shut that down real quick because, you know, if people don't know what you don't tell them, through the Holy Spirit, I was just able to know, you know, and God is faithful. He's good. But yeah, I was like, I need liberation. And so last night we prayed. Oh my God, we learned about so much. We learned about the spirits that come against you, like divination, the accusers, the jailers, the magistrates, just so many things, and we casted those down in the spirit. So I was really excited. But yeah, guys, so really, yeah, I just want to tell you like some of the signs. I'm not gonna hold it long. I don't want it to be like a super long video. But you know, in case like you feel like you're hearing from God, in case like you don't know and you need signs, like trust me, I'm still a person who's like, God, you gotta give me a sign with that one. You know, but sometimes when you're asking for a sign, that's how you know, because you're asking for the sign. So you know for sure, you just want God to show you, but you already know, you know. So if me, because one thing I learned about myself is if I'm like, nah, that wasn't God, and I'm not asking him for a sign, I know like chances are that wasn't God, because I know me. But if I'm asking for a sign, it's just like, okay, God, I need you to just help me. Basically, I think that's what everyone is like, just help me. But, you know, make sure we're seeing God clearly. Our eyes are open. Guys, I really feel like Jesus pulled me out, like, well, this morning technically. Like, he just pulled me out, pulled my spirit, like, draw me back amongst himself. So I am in my happier days. I am ecstatic. I am motivated. I am grateful. We serve a beautiful, beautiful God. And I pray that whatever situation that you're going through, like just on this earth, I feel like I'm all over the place because I'm supposed to be telling of my signs, which I'm going to get to in a second. But like whatever you're going through, I just pray that, you know, that you don't give up. You keep pushing in Christ. You keep pushing in Jesus. You stay rooted in your church. You listen to your pastor, prophet, apostle, evangelist, whoever God has placed in your life for you to be submitted under. You listen to them and you follow the directions of God through them, and that God will send divine helpers on your behalf, that the angels will go ahead of you, that the Lord himself will literally place his hand upon you in your life where you want get weary. Amen. Because I know how it is. I stand here not perfect at all. Like, trust me, not even a little bit. Like, no. But we serve a perfect God, and his name is Jesus, and he's just very amazing. So anyway, these are some signs. So I remember so I think I said in the other video, a year before I moved to California, I had felt like God was telling me to move, but it was like California just kept dropping in my spirit. It was just like, I don't know why, like I just was like, oh, I need to get to California. I wanted to move everywhere else in the world my whole life, but never California. It was never on my radar. But I was like, man, I really feel like I need to move to California. So I hit up my cousin, and I was like, my cousin, he used to live in California because he was in the military, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, hey, like, how is it to like live in California? Now, remind you, he stayed up north. My thing, I wanted to go to LA. So more in the South, and he was like, he was just like putting me on game. Remind you, I never called anybody to know about a state. I will literally go to that state and figure it out. Why am I calling this man? Like, you know, but I was like, I ignored those signs. I didn't have no money. I was just really getting into renewance of God. So I really thought like that was my own will. Like, so I'm not just going to go. Back then I wasn't like God told me. I just wanted to go. And then I started watching the church like a year later from that. So after I called him, we talked and stuff, like the desire just kind of went away, and I was like, okay, it is what it is. Not that the desire went away, because I know I wanted to leave and move to California, but I just, like, now that I'm talking to you, I can't believe I just up and left. But anyway, it was like, not that like I can't believe I moved, like it was just, not that the desire was gone, but I just didn't think about it much. I was just trying to grind and make money. So then the next sign that I followed was I was watching the church, and I never used to watch the worship. When worship would come on, I would always just watch when he comes out to preach. And so I would, but one day I just decided, like, I literally got on my phone. I turned on the worship, and this lady was talking about how she moved from Atlanta to California. And even then, at this moment, I didn't feel like God was telling me. I was just like, wow, she coming like from Georgia like I am. But like, I wasn't thinking about moving to California actively at that time. It wasn't until October where I was like, okay, God, I hear you. I had drove all the way to Maryland for like a women's conference that was in Maryland that I went to. I had drove all the way there. It was a 10-hour drive. And basically God told me like some stuff was going to happen when I get back home, but I didn't know what. Like, you know, I was like, okay, God, I'm prepared. I was in my hotel room because I had one up there for the conference. So I sat in a hotel room, and I feel like God really speaks to me like hotel rooms. I see a lot of people say that it's mainly showers or hotel rooms. So honestly, if you really need to hear from God, I would say suggest those two. Even if you have a place, if you can afford a hotel, go book a hotel just for like a day. Or go to your shower. Like, I promise you, those are the two places. Like, I thought it was just me, but a lot of people said like they really hear God. And I think it's because you're more so isolated in that point, you know? So I just recommend anybody just trying those two tactics. Like, if you feel like you just can't hear from God, go take a shower or go to a hotel, be by yourself and say, God, speak to me. I don't know. I wonder if there's something prophetic behind that, because I don't know. My suggestion would be maybe because you're more isolated, maybe you're more prone to hear. I don't know, but I know times where I really needed to speak to God was when definitely a hotel. Like, if I'm in a hotel by myself, God will surely speak. Like, if nothing else, which he's always speaking, guys, but I think we're just more prone. We're more prone, definitely, just to listen, because he's always speaking. However, and so I was like, okay. So then I get back home. I had a big old family falling out. Like, soon as I landed home, no, not soon as I made it back home in Georgia. I left out that Friday, and I made it back that Monday. Well, technically Tuesday, because I made it back like 12 a.m. and I was in a bed asleep. I stayed with my grandparents at the time. I'll tell this story for like another time what happened between me and my grandparents, but like some stuff had happened with my grandparents, and basically they was kicking me out, and I didn't understand it. Nobody understood it. And I was just like, what's going on? But it's so crazy, because as soon as my grandma came in the room that morning when I had got there, not when I got there, it probably been like 6 or 7 a.m. Because, you know, older people, they wake up early. So it was, and she just come in my room and she told me, like, it's time for you to go. And she literally just walked out the room. And when she closed the door, I said, Jesus, now? Now, it was like, literally, the next thing I said was, Jesus, now? And when I was saying now, like, now you want me to move to California? And I don't know how, like, I was just like, what? And I just heard him so louder. And I was just like, now? I have to go now? I was not prepared. I had no money saved. I had nothing. Okay? But it was just like in my spirit, I knew directly when she said, like, it's time for you to go. I just knew that it was like Jesus saying, move to California. I heard him louder. And guys, I know it was him for fact sure. My spirit's just so inclined and so in tune with him, with his, and because we serve a spiritual God. God would never talk to you absent of his spirit, because he's a spiritual God. So I was like, wow. So we had that big old falling out. We ended up making up, but I remember when we was making up, it was like, okay, I have to move to California, but I wasn't telling anybody. So I think that was like a Tuesday, and I had left off that following Monday. So it was fairly quick. So I was like, okay, I need to go to my job and turn in my laptop. So I go to my job, I turn my and then I did not turn in my laptop. I got discouraged, and so that next morning when I was getting up to get ready to go to work, I go in the bathroom, and me and my grandma, like, the way how we are, like, we just walk in the bathroom on each other. Like, no matter if I'm in the shower, on the toilet, doing my hair. And that's the same with her. Like, I'll just go in the bathroom, she just come in my bathroom, and like, whatever. Like, you know, that's my grandma. So I went in the bathroom to go pray. And because I just kept feeling like I need to do this in my stomach. I kept feeling it, but I was like, maybe I shouldn't. Like, I don't know. I was just so nervous. So I was like, I need to go pray. So I went in the bathroom and I got on my knees at the toilet and I prayed. And I was like, Lord, if this is your will, like, Holy Spirit, you have to help me because I'm nervous. And like, today's the day that I really need to turn on my laptop. Like, help me. I need a sign. Okay. So, I literally, my grandma came in the bathroom, and this was me and her talking face to face since the whole incident happened, because she had ended up going to North Carolina. It's a long story, but and it just slipped out. I said, I'm moving. And I was like, what? Because I was not telling anybody. Like, I was going to tell them before I left, of course, but at that moment, I was not 100% sure. In that moment when I said, now, God, I was 100%. But after, I was like, maybe this is just, let me give it some time, you know? So, I wasn't telling anybody. So then my grandma came in and she was like, you know, she started crying. She was like, you moving for real? Like, hey, but I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I told you to move. And I said, Grandma, like, I know why. It was God through you. Like, I know Jesus literally, guys, if you're not doing what he tells you to do, he will literally create chaos and stuff in your life to make you move. Spiritually, physically, mentally, whatever. So if your life feels so chaotic, do what God told you to do. Okay? Just saying. So, so she was like, so I was like shocked with myself. So I was like, okay, now I got to go to my mom's house and tell my mom, because I don't want nobody else telling my people but me. So I go to my mom's and I'm like, hey, like, I'm moving to California. My mom's like, oh, you moving for real? Like, at first she thought I was playing, but I was like, no, I'm really going to do it. And then she was like, okay. So then I had went to my job. I had went to work, and I work in a corporate job. And I was like, okay, this is the day, because I'm not coming back in office. I'm not coming back in office no more. And if I'm planning on leaving out next week, I need to turn on my laptop today. Yeah, I get to the desk, I could not do it. I would make calls, and you don't know what name is going to pop up. So I was like, geez, if I get these two names, this name means yes, this name means no. That's not how he did it. And I never got the names or anything. And I just, again, like that stomach, that feeling in me. And I was like, let me go to the, let me go to the toilet again at work. And this was actually not even the same day when I saw my mom and grandma. This was like, I want to say like the next day or the day after. I think it was that next day. That next day for sure. It was that Thursday. And I went to the toilet, and I was like, Jesus, help me. Like, I was just praying at work. And then I got back to my desk because I left my phone at my desk. Literally, as soon as I sat down, my sister sent a text message through. And she was like, hey, baby, you feel like God is telling you to do this? Like, don't get discouraged. Do it. Like, literally. So I didn't get the names that I wanted, but God sent that sign to me. So I was like, okay, like, oh, but I still did not turn on my laptop. And then I ended up but I did turn it in that next morning. I just put in my letter of resignation. I put in my letter of resignation. I told her, like, hey, I'm coming to bring the laptop back. I brought her the laptop. I went back. I had to drive back over there to the office, turn in my laptop, turn in everything. And I was still like, maybe this was a mistake. So remember at the beginning, when I told you that I had just turned on worship out of nowhere, and this girl was telling her testimony about how God told her to move from Atlanta to California. Well, tell me why she said that on her U-Haul that they had bought, it had California on the side, and that's how she knew it was a sign from God. So I'm like, God, you never showed me a sign that specific. Okay, like all of these other ones kind of like speculation a little bit. Like, I need something a little more crystal clear, like hers was. Literally, that was my prayer. So my mom, at the time, she was obsessed with going over to Augusta, Georgia, because she had met a chiropractor there, and so he really helped her like big time. And then she liked it there more better or something. So she was like, well, since you're moving to California, like, because I call myself my mom's personal chauffeur. Anytime, like, in the summer, anything, I'm always driving my mom everywhere. And she's also on a drive. So so I was like, okay. She was like, well, you're going to drive me around one last time, like, take me to Augusta. And it was about 2.5 hours away from where we live. So I'm like, okay, bet. I'll drive, like, no problem. And we went to the mall there, and my grandma came with us because my grandma, she was like, she wanted to spend time with me too before I go. So she was like, she would just come with us. Yeah, my mama, side note, my mama only wanted to go to one store in Augusta when we could have went the other way to Macon and it would have been like 45 minutes away. I think it was like JCPenney or something. But she liked the one in Augusta better, so we literally drove 2 hours to go to JCPenney. It was like, this is what you wanted us to go for? But I think she just wanted to spend time, you know? And so anytime we go to Augusta, we'll eat at Longhorn. I have not seen a Longhorn here in California, but it's definitely some in Georgia. And I love Longhorn. And so we was deciding, like, what we want to eat. And then my mom was like, we could just go to, like, Longhorn, like, again. Because anytime me and my mama go to Augusta, and we was going frequently around this time, we always eat at Longhorn. So it was like, yeah, like, I can eat it again. I was obsessed with that Parmesan chicken, by the way. Obsessed. And so I go, and remind you, I told God, like, give me a crystal clear sign like you gave that girl. Tell me why. Again, me and my mama always go to this restaurant, this particular Longhorn. I don't even know they have another one. This is the only one we go to. I park on a new end. I park like back this way. We used to park this way, but I park back this way, the store over here. So I park like back this way. I back in the car. I think we drove my car. Yeah, we drove my car. I backed it in. Tell me why I look up. The restaurant beside Longhorn is literally called like California Cafe or something like that. Never, I literally just prayed the prayer to Jesus and said, Lord, I need a crystal clear sign like you gave her. You put us on the side of a U-Haul. You put California on the side of a U-Haul. I need something with California. I look up, I'm backing up everything. I didn't even notice it. My mom didn't even notice. When I was getting out of the car, I stopped and took a pause, and I literally stared at the building like California Cafe or something like that. And I was like, California? I should have took a picture, guys. But I was just so appalled. I literally stopped and paused and just looked at it like, I have to go to California. But yeah, we went and ate. I told my dad, and he was like, oh, you moving to California? Oh, okay. And I was like, that's it. So it didn't really hit him until the day before I ended up going to California. Yeah, and I went down my parents' house and they prayed for me. And yeah, I had my parents pray for me. They loved on me. Like the fact that they prayed for me and stuff, they didn't agree. My dad told me, I don't agree with your decision, but I can't stop you. And I thank Jesus for it. And I love you. Thank Jesus for you or something. And my mom was like, yeah, I'm like your daddy. I don't like it, but you grown. I can't stop you. But yeah, I think after I seen that California one, I didn't ask for any more signs. I was just like, yeah, okay, God, I hear you loud and clear. I don't think there's nothing wrong with asking God for signs, but I do think the more you mature in the spirit, you know, you shouldn't ask for signs because you're more cling to His spirit, so you'll know. But yeah, we all go through stages, and yeah, and I've been here for going on 2 years now. It's still so real to me, like, wow. But that was a true journey. It was just this has been a journey. Like, literally, I remember when I first got here, I had nowhere to go. I was just so like, Lord, what do I do? How am I gonna do it? How am I gonna make money? Like, I just got up and Lord, I just got up and came. Like, how am I gonna do this? And I literally remember crying all day. And then I felt bad for crying. So I was like, Jesus, you know, I feel bad for crying. I know we can't make anything up to you because He's God. But I was like, I'm going to go to Wednesday night service. I didn't know that my church do service on Thursday and Sunday. Well, I went to another church, another service, same church, but a different service. I didn't know they did Wednesday night until like a week prior. And so I was like, okay, it's Wednesday. I'm going to go to the Wednesday night service just to make it up to you, God. Like, we do little stuff like that in our head, but really it'd be the Holy Spirit leading you the whole time. So just allow yourself to do it. And I was like, Lord, to make it up to you, I'm going to go to church. Like, I know I can't literally make it up to you, but I'm going to go to church. I remember I had got a hotel in Santa Clarita. And I had went there and stayed in the hotel. Then I had drove back across town, and I had went to the church, and I literally came to the church, and Mama T called me out, and she was like, okay, oh my God, y'all. Okay, a quick side note story. She said, where are you from? You're not from here. And I was like, no, I'm from Georgia. And she's a prophetess. And then she was like, because I'm seeing you in the spirit traveling. But before she even said that, she said, you know, God is happy that you're here. So I'm just like, okay, maybe a church service. I wasn't thinking in that, so I was just like, oh, you know, cute and noble. Okay. Like, okay, God's happy that I'm here. You know. And then she was like, I see you traveling. And then she said, why did you move here? And I was like, oh no, you know, the church and everything. I started watching the church. I didn't want to tell anybody that I felt like God called me, because I was like, what if I'm wrong still, you know? Because fun fact, before this, I had seen another girl move to California, and God told her, and they told her, like, she moved over here and she got more prone to spirits because it was not her time yet. So that was one of the things I was fearful about too. Like, okay, I'm moving over, but what if it's not my time? So that was one of the things. And so then she said, yeah, but why did you come? And she looked me in my eyes, and I was like, this lady, no. And I was like, hey, but just go ahead and say it. And I said, I feel like God called me to move here. She said, he did. And what did I tell you in the beginning? God is happy you came. Yeah, I would insert the clip because I have it on my phone, but I made myself cringe. I don't know. I may insert it. But she was like, God is happy that you came. And I was like, yeah. And she was like, you have, like, she was just telling me stuff. But I was just, in that right there, I think if I had not have gotten that prophecy, I think I probably would not have been here today. Like, still in California. I would have left for sure. If I had not gotten that prophecy. And I think, I know 100% Jesus knew that. So I feel like he was like, yeah, she need this. That prophecy carried me. And it carries me to this day. But yeah, if you feel like God is calling you to do something, girl, ask for a sign. Boy, homie, ask for a sign. I'm telling you, God will give you a sign. If it's his will, he will surely do it for you. Ask him when the right time is as well. You don't want to go before your time. But yeah, that's just my story, guys. And I'm here, and I'm like in California, I'm like in LA, and yeah. But yeah, that's it, guys. I just wanted to come and chit chat it up with y'all, talk to y'all, like, see what was up. Yeah, I'll talk to you later, and I hope you guys have a great night. Again, may you clean your spirit. May your spirit cling to God's spirit, where you can hear him and know from him clearly, because God always speaks clearly, but these aren't always clear. So may your ears be open. May your eyes be open. Spiritually, fun fact, you hear with these and you see with these in the spirit. In case you didn't know. And you speak with this. In case you didn't know. So this is how you speak in the spirit. This is how you hear in the spirit. And this is how you see in the spirit. I learned that. So, yeah. May your spirit cling to God's spirit, and all things be well with you. Good night.